We must be inclusive. It is the only way that we can harness the talent, the energy, the ideas, and the contribution of as many of us as possible in making Kenya the country we want it to be. And that is why I have engaged in ensuring that we have a broad-based government that carries as many of us as possible. And let me say this for the record, that this broad-based administration, in my opinion, is what we need to make sure that we can take head on the things that we have always wanted to do as a nation, that no one side can do it on their own. We have always known that we need to reform our education, and we need to make sure that we have an education system that is fit for purpose. But we haven't been able to tell ourselves the truth about the cost of our education. And we have always pretended that we can do everything for everybody, even those who can afford to do things for themselves. I'm very happy that we have made now decisions to make sure that our education is properly aligned. We have corrected the differences that we had in our CBC curriculum. We have mastered the resources to hire more teachers, and we have rolled out a funding model that supports our education institutions and ensures that children from poor backgrounds are supported adequately. I expect, going into the future, with our new team, that we will refine and make sure that no child in Kenya is left behind. We have always known what we wanted to do in agriculture, but we haven't mastered the courage to take head on the cartels. I'm very happy that today we have registered almost 6 million farmers to deal with the fraud that was in the fertilizer distribution program. Today, fertilizer is distributed on a forger system, on a digital platform that identifies every farmer to their farms. And as a result, we have greater productivity of maize, of wheat, of sugar, of tea, of coffee. And I am very proud that today we are reporting more earnings for tea, better prices for coffee. In the next couple of weeks, we will have completed the reform of the sugar sector that will make it possible for our sugar sector to pay farmers on time, pay workers on time, and for the very first time, pay bonus to sugarcane farmers. That transformation in our agricultural sector is not only urgent, it's not only necessary, but we need to accelerate. And that is why the new team that is coming on board will help us turbocharge this process. I must also say, as a nation, we have always known that we have 7 million of our members of our communities living in squalor, in indecent, unhygienic neighborhoods as slums. In fact, we have statistics of 1,400 slums across Kenya. And we have always known that we needed to run a program on housing. In fact, we have had it in manifestos of all parties. Even in the last election, it was both in the manifesto of Kenya Kwanza, it was also in the manifesto of Azimio. But when the rubber meets the road, everybody wants to have excuses. I am very happy that together we have now rolled out our housing program. We have close to 160,000 houses being constructed around Kenya. In fact, I'm very proud that you go to any big town today. I was in Mandera, I was in Wajir, I was in Garissa, in Mombasa, in Nairobi, in Kisumu, in Eldoret. The largest single housing estate in all our towns today, including Nyeri, is affordable housing programs. As a result of the same program, 200 and almost 50 markets are being constructed around Kenya of the 400 that are planned. Real markets that are being constructed. We've just advertised for hostels for our students in TVETs, in Kenya Medical Training Centers, and in our universities. It's possibly going to be one of the largest infrastructure programs that Kenya has undertaken. You know how difficult that decision was. And it cannot be carried to the end with only one side of the political divide. We need to carry as many Kenyans on board as possible. Ladies and gentlemen, we all know as a nation that we have run a healthcare program that supports the majority in a very small way and a minority in a very big way.